Review Boti Byteland. Run, jump, bicycle. Exploring Byteland as Boti and watching him develop, it reminds me a lot of Crash Twinsanity. Boti has approximately 8 levels of exploration and a central world that you can expand by collecting megabytes and bot coins found throughout Byteland. These levels start out with very large play areas, with plenty of nooks and canyons to explore, and this is where I primarily had a lot of fun. Most of my playtime was spent smashing zip file boxes and collecting all the data, as it often said. Our little one has a lot of costumes that he can also find and unlock using QR codes, which is very nice. But he has almost all the right ideas, a recipe for success. But as I progressed through the game, I started to lose interest in the level design and challenges. One of the reasons is that the large exploration areas are beginning to narrow and focus on the next milestone. I found large areas of movement to Boti straight because the rest of levels design is very simple and directly punishes you if you try to backtrack. This is where the most of my deaths came from, seeing that I missed the coin and trying to jump back on two platforms that weren't designed for it. I got a little lost. Additionally, if there is a collectible in the game that you could potentially grab with the right footwork, Biteable doesn't like it, and you can sometimes find invisible walls at the worst possible time. Another problem I had with Boti is that while the visuals are beautiful, they don't translate very well into the sound effects and play impact. For example, Boti will encounter platforms that disappear and respawn within seconds of each other. To be honest, I saw a bunch of them. But unlike other games, these platforms don't come with proper sound effects. Sound plays a key role in both platforming and combat. Boti will face groups of villains who will try to surround him and confuse him. Hitting these bots wouldn't have the same effect as I had hoped, and the lack of the sound effects when I hitting or dying made me less interested in engaging in combat. When I could avoid it, I would. But in the end, I rarely had to fight villains. My playthrough of Boti was marked by a number of errors, especially in the second half of the game. I heard cutscenes loading without sound, platform models not loading, level and triggers not working, the island hub not calculating bit exchanging properly, and so on. I have managed the development team and am confident that any major issues will be fixed. And hey, maybe the game just hated me. Strange things were happening. But it is charming game. The sisters I mentioned, 0 and 1, accompanying you help relieve boredom. They will comment on your actions and the new parts of the level you encounter. And while they tend to get repeated quite often, I think Boti would be a lot more boring without them. However, you can turn off their idle character in the menu if you wish. Finally, Boti has co-op play. The levels are designed for 2 players, so you won't have any problems running around and causing chaos. I played in local co-op with my little brother and sister and had some fun, but otherwise online play is supported. Unlimitedly, I was a little disappointed with Boti Byteland Overclocked. On one hand, the game is gorgeous and charming, but the gameplay and many bugs I encountered really ruined the experience. On the other hand, Boti is still fun to play and I wouldn't mind coming back for collectible and 100% mileage in the future.